Hello everyone, it's Lynette with Grammy Crochet, and I'm back in the yarn room today. Um, I can't remember if today is still the Disney Podcaster Spirit Week or if that was yesterday. I know Nancy from She's Got Yarn Too did such a great job on her Minion. And, Minion is Pixar, but Pixar is owned by Disney, isn't it? So technically, isn't that still kind of Disney? I'm giving her credit because she did so well. If you haven't checked out her Minion video, you have to go check it out. Oh gosh, my nose is still driving me crazy. I feel fine and it's just there. It just doesn't go away. Uh, as you know from yesterday, it's close up camper um, time of the year. So since we're going to take the cabinet off the wall, that was food in that cabinet. Um, it's the cabinet's back up now, but he had taken all the food out and put it in a box, and I thought I got to take it home anyway. So we brought home all the food out of the camper this weekend. We will be there next weekend, uh, but I don't know if we're going Thursday night or Friday. It was really cold this weekend. I spent a lot of time outside in the cold, and I'm hoping that I'm not going to pay the price for that. I was starting to get over my cold, I think. Uh, so, but we had a good time with our friends, and next weekend everybody's going to be really busy getting their campers cleaned out. Can't leave anything liquid in there, in case it breaks with the frost, with the freeze. Uh, so I have taken all the food out. We do have some clothes there, warm clothes, that I just left. But we'll bring home all the clothing. I'm going to take some old sheets and I cover everything. Um, and like where I sit when I talk to you guys at the table and where that couch is, and there's a space equal size in the back room of my camper. Those are slide outs and they need to come in, and that will leave you like this much space literally to get through by the bathroom. Like I can't fit. Um, Chloe can fit between when the slide outs are pushed in. She could get into the back room. I cannot. But Roy likes to put some of our outdoor furniture in the camper, uh, so that it doesn't get blown around. Even though you tarp it, stuff gets blown around. Uh, and so we're trying to do that. He'll do that, you know. So Friday will be more cleanup, but like I'm gonna bring some bins and boxes and just bring home all the liquid stuff, uh, shampoos, cleaners, that kind of thing. Um, I have towels and wash rags that I just keep there. I'm keeping them there. My sheets that are on my bed that I like, that are good, and my blankets that I use all the time, I'm going to bring those home. But I will cover everything with old sheets in case mice get in there and they want to poop all over my stuff. They'll poop on the old sheets. Um, so that's how we close. And then everything, like all my paper products I'll bring home. I talked about that yesterday, but like a coffee pot and the air fryer and the crock pot and stuff that I keep in a cupboard, they're in plastic bags. They'll be kept in the cupboard. We have to empty and um, de-ice the refrigerator. Defrost. That's the word. Defrost the refrigerator and freezer. So we'll start doing that on probably Friday. So we'll have to bring a cooler to keep whatever food we bring cold, because there'll be water coming. You have to keep the refrigerator shut off and let it defrost. And we have a refrigerator outside as well, so we'll have to do that there as well. And that's a cold, wet job. So we'll do that on Saturday. And then we'll sleep there Friday. We're going out to dinner with all of our friends, big group. And then we have a big bonfire. And then on Sunday, you drain all the water out of everything, and put antifreeze in, or they blow out the lines with a air compressor. I don't know which Roy is going to do. Uh, so you winterize, and you unplug all the water. You shut off the propane, batten down all the hatches, tarp up all the furnitures, which we can't really do on Saturday, the outdoor furniture, because if we're going to use it Saturday night, because we're planning also a bonfire on Saturday night after dinner. I don't know if that'll be at our camper or at somebody else's camper. But if it's going to end up being, it just is like wherever everybody shows up. So you can't like put everything away, so we'll have some of that to do in the morning. But Roy almost wanted to have everything ready to go and just leave from the dinner and just go home and have the camper already closed. But we don't want to miss the last fire with our friends. So, and particularly if that last fire ends up supposed to be at our house, it probably won't be. It probably will be at the neighbor next door's, but who knows? Um, and then we'll take chairs there. So, because it'll be a large group. So that's the camper situation. And then we're done for the next several months. No more camping. It's bittersweet. By the time it gets cold, you're like, oh God, do I really want to go there? It's cold. Um, when we got home, we had left the heat off. It was warm when warmer. Well, Chloe and Amanda were here when we left on Friday. They were still here and they locked up for us, and they turned the heat off, which was fine because nobody's going to be here. But it was 59 degrees in my house when I got here today. I'm like, oh man. And that's what the camper's like when you get there. It's a friggin' tin can with, no heat unless you turn it on. And then it runs out propane. So it warms up. It's fine. But um, I wouldn't want to live in cold weather in my camper. It's not, uh, it's not, it's built for cold weather. It's got the cold weather package. So it's got all the heat ducts and everything to keep the pipes from freezing and stuff. If you wanted to use it year round, we could, but there's still always a chill. It's never warm, when it gets to a certain temperature. um, I wouldn't want to use it in below freezing temperatures. I think it would just continuously be cold. I'm an old lady. Cold doesn't work well for my knees, my joints. Roy's getting arthritis in his hands. He's feeling it for the first time this year, arthritis in his hands. And at least that's what I think it is. He's like, I don't know what's wrong with my fingers the last 2 days. Well, the last 2 days we woke up in a chilly camper, and he's like, they're just so stiff. I'm like, yeah, getting arthritis in your hands, babe. That's how my knees feel every day. He has arthritis in his knees too, but um, the cold doesn't bother him. I don't know why. Lucky him. Well, now that I've been ranting over nothing, um, this video is about more than nothing. I actually have something to show you. Remember I made that scarf that was the color inspiration from Rock 2022 AU for the beginning of September, I think was this one. And I used this yarn. It's Dreamweaver, but it's like Landscapes and Unforgettable. I used a tiny bit more than one skein, and there's 270 yards per skein, and it's 100% acrylic. So I made this scarf for my sister-in-law. I was going to make it a wrap, and my sister-in-law said, oh, I would love that as a scarf. So I said, okay, and I made it for her. And it's not very long, but she's short, so it's probably plenty long for her. But then I decided, since I had already opened a skein, I would make her a hat. So I made a divine hat. Didn't it turn out so pretty? I love the top. Look how pretty that is in this yarn. I'm really surprised at how deep the blue section got. You know, it's like really deep compared to the other colors. But I just love the way the top turned out. And, you know, it's not color controlled because it's like that self-striping but short stripes. Except for the blue. Or maybe it's supposed to be, it really is, like it goes the purple and then it goes blue. And there's a darker blue. It does fade into a darker blue. It doesn't show it on the screen. But when I look at it in person, it does. But it's not much darker. And so it just looks like a big blue section. But other than that, I totally love the hat. I love the stitch. This is, I think she calls it the Shell Stitch by Joanna Martinez. And I will link it in the description box below. But I did use only, she was calling for she used Karen Simply Soft in the video and a 6mm hook, and then went down on the ribbing to a 5mm hook. But I used a 5mm for the whole thing because even though this like landscapes is supposed to be a 4-weight yarn, it's kind of on the thinner side, and so I just thought I would go with a smaller hook. My sister-in-law is not real large. You know, she's small in stature, and so I wanted to go smaller hook. And anyway, that's the Divine hat to go with the scarf. I would put it on, but I put a thingy in my hair, and now it'll get stuck. So I'm not going to. But cute, right? And this is how much yarn I had left. So I'll just throw this. I have some more skeins of that still. So I'm just going to throw it in with the others. And next time I see my sister-in-law, I will give her this. I'll probably see her next weekend for the football game. The football game this week I did not go to. That's where Roy is right now. I didn't go because of my cold, and she'll have the grandbabies will be there, and my great niece, she's, I don't know, born in, you know, I made that activity ball for her. If you've been around for a while, you've seen it, but she was born in, I can't remember, March or April. And she's still so tiny. I mean, she's healthy, but she has Downs, and having Downs syndrome, your features are like smaller, your everything is tinier, and so they're much more susceptible to upper respiratory stuff. And even though I've tested and I know I don't have COVID, and I believe it's just a cold, I would not want to give it to my little star. And or her mommy, because her mommy is pregnant again, and we're so excited about that. It's a boy, so I'm very happy about that. And the chances of having a second Downs child are like 2%. So which is great because these babies are going to be less than a year apart in age. Oh my goodness. But Star is the sweetest little, happiest little girl on the face of the planet. And I would not want to make her sick and cranky. So nor would I want to make her mommy sick and cranky. they would be mad at me. So anyway, I did not go, which gives me an opportunity to be here. And I did get all the stuff put away that we brought home from the camper, which gave me an opportunity for that. I'm very happy about all of that. I have some Happy Mail I'm sending out tomorrow, so I'm getting that all ready so that I can get to the post office early in the morning and get that taken care of. And I'm very happy about that. So that's all I know. That's all I know until tomorrow. I am going to start now that I've finished these 2 projects. I have things I still need to start, but I really want to start on the chunky blanket, and I decided that I'm going to do, I wanted to do something simple so I can just work on it without having to think a lot, because I have several things that I'm working on that have patterns I need to follow. So I decided that I'm going to do a granny, but not a square. I want to do, just the back and forth. I haven't made a granny with actual granny stitch. I haven't done that in, I don't know that um, well, I have made a few little granny squares that are actual granny stitch squares since I've been crocheting, but I have not ever done the back and forth granny, that just makes like a rectangular blanket. So I can go 40 inches wide and I can go 50 inches long or whatever I want to do because this is going to be a Boggy Creek blanket. And it's going to be out of the cherry, what is it, cherry jubilee or something. Caron Chunky Cakes. The color, yep, cherry jubilee. I'm really anxious to get started on it. Let me see, what size hook does this say? It says use an 8mm. I'm probably going to go 10. Or maybe bigger. I don't know. At least 10. I tend to crochet a little bit tight, and so if I want something to have some drape to it, I have to go at least one size larger. So I might go 10, or maybe 12. We'll see. I might play with it for a minute, but I have to find a tutorial because I don't know how you do that straight across the thing. So that's my next challenge. But then once you get it, I know it's going to be the same thing, back and forth, back and forth. So I'm real excited about that. I can whip that up, hopefully in not too long of a period of time, and get another blanket finished for my hashtag Boggy Creek. Boggy Creek, no, Bogey Camp 2022. If you don't know what that is, Boggy Creek Camp is a camp in Florida that Paul Newman and General with an S, last name Schwartz or something. I know that's not correct, but it starts with an S. They started for handicapped children, children with severe medical problems. It's a camp where they can go and play and be normal kids. There's doctors and nurses on staff for their illness. It's really awesome. Excuse me. Um, it'll be linked. A video for the camp will be linked. Nancy's YouTube channel will be linked uh, with the video where she talks about the drive that we're doing. Her, Nancy from She's Got Yarn Too, Billy the Crafty Floridian, and I are helping Nancy's mom encourage people, crocheters from the yarn community, to make blankets. And they have to be the 35 to 40 inches wide, 40 to 50 inches long. Excuse me. They're looking. We're suggesting acrylic or cotton because these kids are sick, and we don't want to have to. We don't want them to have to worry about wool. But if you make some that has wool in it, uh, well, for any of the blankets, we're asking that you label what the fibers are so we can let them know. Care instructions would be great. We are going live on Thursday nights. That will probably mostly be on Billy's channel. And Nancy is showing the blankets that she's getting in. We're having them sent to her, and she's holding them up. Every blanket that you send in gets you entered into a prize drawing. There will be several prizes. Billy's donating prizes. I will have some prizes. Risa will have some prizes. She is a subscriber of Nancy's. Nancy, of course, will have some prizes. All these kids go home from camp with a goodie bag, and they would like to send them all home with goodie bags with a handmade blanket, uh, or a handmade teddy bear that there is a sewn pattern. It's a specific bear designed specifically for the camp. If you watch Billy's last live on Thursday, I will link that. She did make the bear. She said it's a little tough. Don't ask me to sew. I won't be doing that. Um, and it's really funny because I have 3 sewing machines in this house. 2 were my mother's. I can't bear to give them away. And one is mine that, I would pull that out like once every 6 years. Um, I do know how to like sew a straight line. Could I sew that bare? I don't think so. I don't want, if it was a challenge for Billy, um, no, I'm not doing it. One day I'm hoping that my granddaughters will want my mother's sewing machines. If they still work by then, who knows? One day, if they don't, I'll be ready to part with them. But, or maybe I'll take up sewing one day and keep them. Who knows? But, anyways, uh, that's what that is. So I will encourage you to make blankets, and we're collecting till the last of December, and at least for sure Nancy and Billy are going to drive them, and Nancy's mom Sue. She was the start of all of this. It's all her fault. Uh, but it's her women's group that was making goodie bags for the camp, and they wanted crochet blankets. Last year they had a couple of donations, and so Sue said, you know what, let me talk to Nancy. And Nancy came to me and said, I'm going to do this. And I said, Nancy, come on, we've got a whole community, let's do this. Let's fill a truck. So that would be so freaking awesome if we had to bring one of her trucks to drop off the blankets. As of Thursday, she opened 23 blankets on Thursday. You guys are great. So anyway, that's where we're at with that. I didn't mean to like really ramble on about it, but we would all appreciate, and the kids would appreciate, your support with this. I know it's holiday season, holidays are coming up, and you're worried about your own crochet for that stuff, or getting to that point. The first, I have myself completed one blanket. I showed it a couple of videos back. It was willow granny squares, and I already had the squares made. I was using scrap yarn to make granny squares, the willow square, because I like that pattern. It was before I learned to do amigurumi, and so when I had like a scrap, I would just make squares until the scrap was gone. And then I learned to make amigurumis. Now I save my scraps for amigurumis. But I have enough scraps for a second blanket, and I will put that together one day. It didn't take me too long. I used 25 squares because they're about 8-inch squares. It didn't take me long to, in an evening. I think I sewed them all together with a continuous join, and then I had a blanket. And my daughter has donated 2 blankets. So anyway, I'm going to make that back and forth granny stitch blanket for Boggy Creek. And I want to get that started. And I also, today, I want to work on, I have not started. I did not get the crocheting done over the weekend that I wanted to do. I thought I'm going to whip out this hat in no time. And then I'm going to watch a tutorial on the Tunisian stitch from Jada and Stitches for last month. And start that to put in my go bag for work next week. And then I was going to start the Halloween outfit for Terry Bear. I finished this hat on the way home. That's how little crochet time I had over the weekend. We were just busy, busy, busy. Not a bad thing. But it didn't get the crocheting done that I thought I was going to get done. That's okay. And that's all. That is all. That's all I got. I'm going to shut it up now. Zip it. I have to have something to talk about tomorrow, right? Lala, you're killing me with this film every day thing. Even I only have so much chatter. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great day. Bye.